Yeah, you're listening to Independent TV 7. As the headline says, Kanu sues the federal government, insists on wearing Igbo attire. Isiagu to call for trial. This is going to be very, very interesting. As it is, I would say, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, NNAMDI KANU, yesterday lodged fresh suit where before the federal high court sitting in Abuja, insisting that preventing him from wearing his native Igbo attire, Isiagu, for his ongoing trial, would amount to an infringement on his fundamental human rights. Kanu, who is facing a treasonable felony charge in the suit he filed through one of his lawyers, Mr. Maxwell Okpara, accused the federal government of subjecting him to discrimination based on his ethnic group. And now, noting that other persons on trial were allowed to wear clothes of their choices without any form of inhibition. Inhibition. The embattled IPOB leader argued that though he is currently a detainee, he is entitled to the enjoyment of his fundamental right to freedom from discrimination as guaranteed under sections 42 bracket 1 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. This is where I get very, very furious and get angry when they tell us, or I talk about the 1999 Constitution amended. Wow. Cited as the first to third respondent in the suit, marked FHC /ABJ /CSS /482 2022, at the Director General of the Department of State Services, the Department of State Services, and the Attorney General of the Federation. Now, specifically, Kanu is praying at the court to, among other things, declare that notwithstanding that the applicant is detained in the respondent's detention facility, the actions of the respondents in constantly preventing or commanding the applicant to desist from wearing the traditional Igbo attire, Isiagu, or other attires identical to the Igbo ethnic group of Nigeria. Even when no law in Nigeria forbids the applicant from wearing same, and more so when it is a notorious fact that other inmates from other ethnic groups wear their traditional clothes, constitutes a subjection of the applicant to full-fledged discrimination by reason of his ethnic group or place of origin. And now does a gross violation of the applicant's right to freedom from discrimination as guaranteed under Section 42 bracket 1 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. A declaration of this Honorable Court that notwithstanding that the applicant is detained in the respondent's detention facility, the actions of the respondents jointly and severally in constantly refusing and or preventing the applicants from having a change of clothes or subjugating the applicant to wearing one particular cloth against his will, both while within their detention, as it is the detention facility. It's so very, very appalling. It's so very, very appalling, like I said. And if Nnamdi Kanu cannot wear his traditional attire or to be free, what is his right? Or what is it by his right? Because I can't really, fathom. So, as he said, other ethnic groups are wearing their attires just because they are not prescribed, or because they refuse to prescribe them, or because they are from the Fulani Kingsmen, which is not supposed to be. Like the applicant has said, to wearing one particular cloth against his will, both while within their detention facility or on days when he is to appear before the Federal High Court or other designated places for his trial, constitutes a subjection of the applicant to inhuman and degrading treatment, thus the gross violation of the applicant's right to dignity of human persons as guaranteed under Section 34 bracket 1 bracket A of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended. and Articles 5 African Charter on Human and People's Rights Ratification and Enforcement Act, CAPA 9 Volume 1 LFN 2004. And now, an order directing the respondent jointly and severally to immediately allow the applicant to have a change of clothes in their detention facility or at any time he appears in public for his trial. Another of these court directing the respondent jointly or severally to allow the applicant to start wearing any clothes of his choice, more so to allow him to wear his traditional Igbo attires, Isiagu, and all other Igbo traditional attires of his choice. Another of a perpetual injunction restraining the respondent and their authorized agents by whatever name so called from further disturbing or interfering with the rights of the applicants to dignity of a human person and freedom from discrimination or in any way infringing on the constitutional rights of the applicants as guaranteed by law or from making any attempt capable of violating the applicant's rights as guaranteed under the Constitution. Wow. Well, besides, he is praying the court to declare that the respondents, while carrying out their lawful duties, are bound to adhere to and or respect the fundamental rights of all citizens of Nigeria as enshrined in Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended and the Africa Charter on Human and People's Rights Ratification and Enforcement Act. It will be recalled that the trial Justice Ebin Tayanko had on February 16 summoned the Director of Legal Services at the DSS to explain why Kanu was detained, access or rather denied access to new clothes and his eyes glasses. Kanu had since he was rearrested in June 2021 wore the same Fendi designer's jumpsuit to court for his trial. Addressing the court, the DSS official explained that the clothes were rejected because it contained as an insignia associated with the IPOB. Wow, what's that? He told the court that clothes that were brought for Kanu in detention had lions head emblazoned on them. So what has that got to what is happening on ground? We don't understand. Well, my lord, I have been on the issue of his clothing for quite some time now. The issue was that they brought clothes with lion's head. Okay, if they now bring clothes with lion's head, then see Nigerians, let's face the fact. Our coat of bird are there not animals there? Us is there. So is lion not an animal? Help me ask this gullible people who I don't really understand. Well, to continue, he says we looked at the clothes and said no, that this is why we are in court and it offends our standard of operation. What kind of standard of operation is that? It's under the Constitution. You have your standard. Everybody has your personal standard. So you go and look bush. All the transformer, that's your standard. No, nobody has a monopoly of power. If the Constitution of Nigeria does not, go against this, why? What is the problem? Why is that a threat? Why is that a threat? If you go to festivals, you see people jubilating in masquerades in whichever form. You allow them to do that because it's under the Constitution. Because time may not really permit us to go further. Because this one I'm going to draw the curtain. I'd like you to share your views in the comment section. Thanks for listening and God bless you.